I see people are waiting, so I thought I'd start it just a little early. I was literally out there drinking some coffee with the wife, and I brought it. I have it with me, but I figured we'd go ahead and get the party going. But Az, you're on, man. That's exciting. The last couple you've missed, so I'm super stoked that you're on, and hopefully you guys can hear me okay with my mic. Do I need to turn that up at all? Hey, Jim Joe, what's up? Is my mic loud enough for everybody, or do I need to turn that up? I'm not sure. But how's everyone doing? Yes. Okay, I'm going to go with yes, the mic sounds okay. So we're going to keep going until someone else tells me otherwise. But how are we all doing today? It's a beautiful Tuesday. Got off work this morning. What's up there? But kind of have some interesting things potentially coming up on the channel, and wanting I can hear you. Oh, what's up, growing cloth? This video actually goes into detail with you. How's the reactor? I don't have the nuke proof reactor anymore, but it was a brilliant mountain bike. If you could potentially grab a nuke proof reactor somewhere, it's definitely 100% worth it. So I love that. But for some of you who may not know, I'm gonna give you away groin cloth. But groin cloth is actually single track jack. Fun fact. So that's pretty exciting. Whoa! Count me in. Oh goodness. So today, what I'm wanting to mainly talk about. Oh man, I've been. But I'm wanting to talk about different parts on budget build mountain bikes. And hey, what's up, Dan? Welcome. Hi from the US. But the question I'm wanting to ask, and hopefully I'll ask this periodically throughout the live stream. What's going on, SD? But as we're going through this, I'll ask this question multiple times because new people will come on and come off. But so what I want to know is if you are building up a bike, a budget bike, and just feel free to put in the comments over here because I want to talk about this. I'm really interested in what you guys think and feel and what you like to do. But whenever you do a budget bike, so if you're wanting to do something that involves either upgrading or changing or building entirely just yourself, I'm hoping it'll open up here really, really soon. Oh, chasing Marley. Chasing Grace is my wife, everyone. Don't mind that one. But no, so do you prefer to buy a like Walmart bike, like a Schwinn, an Axum, a Tap, anything like that, and then actually upgrade it? Or do you want to buy the frame itself and then upgrade it? So, what do you prefer to do whenever you're upgrading a bike? And then the second portion of this question is going to be not only what do you want to do, but what exactly is your price point? So, a lot of people that are doing budget builds really like to use, let's say, the IXF cranksets. Okay. So, IXF cranksets are very popular on Amazon. You can get a set for about $60, correct? That comes with the actual bottom bracket and everything like that. So, is an IXF crankset for $60 technically better than, let's say, a SRAM dub bottom bracket that you can get for $30? Then gradually upgrade it 1200 GDP. Okay. So, and I know US is a little different than that obviously, but that's not a big deal there. But so let's go to the budget parts, okay? So a SRAM dub bottom bracket is roughly 35 US dollars. To get a crankset, the cheapest ones you can buy are the SRAM NXs, which are $105 roughly, depending on where you get them, when you get them, that kind of thing. Hey, what's up, Jonathan? So what I want to know is if I'm to do a budget build, do you prefer to do or see a budget build with legit the bottom of the barrel kind of items such as IXF cranksets? And it's kind of what I did for the Huffy build. But I have a new build coming up that's going to probably go over a couple months that I'm trying to figure out, should I use the IXF cranksets and things like that, or should I hold out and try to do like micro shift, which is not exactly bottom of the barrel, but like a step up for a budget build, if that makes sense. So you can get a micro shifter, rear derailleur, and then I think cranks are something you can save on. It's a fair point as well. And I bet there's some things that you can save on and some things you probably don't want to save on. So for instance, to you, budget build hardtail or full suspension. I'm hoping to do a budget build full suspension. And I'll get into the details with that in just a second because that involves groin cloth, also known as single track jack. So I'm very excited for this build that's potentially coming, but it's kind of going to be a double whammy because a lot of people have looked into this on some of the Facebook groups I'm in, but it's called DIY Carbon Bike. And Single Track Jack actually designed and ordered his own frame off of DIY Carbon. So I've heard great things about Advent X. Yes, lots of bigger name YouTubers seem to say hold. So, and I really like the price point for Advent X. But my question over Advent X is after you buy it for $200 roughly, and it doesn't look like it comes with the cable and that kind of stuff, but that's not here or there. After you add decent brakes as well, and then you have to buy the crank arms too. So whenever you're adding all that together, now you're up to around 350-ish, depending on what you buy. And you can get a decent Shimano Deore set for about 450, 500, including brakes. So is it better to just save up 50 to $100 and buy that Shimano stuff, or do you think the Advent X and the IXF and that kind of stuff, just to keep it around 300, is better? And so I have the IXF stuff on my Huffy, my dirt jumper build, and it does terrific. But it's just one of those interesting things to think about. I don't really know what kind of warranty IXF has, if any. And, does SRAM and Shimano, even the cheaper stuff, does that stump the warranties for IXF and that kind of thing? So for me, my mentality is buy once, cry once. I'll pay a bit more for something I know that will last. Now, I legitimately appreciate that answer. That's a very, very good answer, SD. And that's kind of how I am. I'm not very stingy with money. When it comes to my wife and I'm what you would call a free spirit with money, and don't I don't understand the true value of a penny. It's a very big fault of mine. And at the same time, it's just one of those things where like, well, what's $50? And to some people, $50 is a huge difference. And that's something I really need to keep in mind because I'm different than other people. So let's see what Dan said. I prefer buying branded parts, but opting for cheaper or more refined version. So have the reliable warranty and contact sources. Okay, so that's kind of how I am, Dan. I'm about in that same group as that one as well. They're hard to build and mine are quite expensive. So, you know, and the crazy part there, SD, is my hardtail build is just getting more expensive. So I have this really weird, well, even on this YouTube channel in general, it's kind of all over the place. I do some budget stuff, I do some expensive stuff. I've not really done anything super super mega high end in my opinion, such as the wireless shifting and top of the line forks and things like that where uh tomorrow to 2 days build video is actually my RockShox Revelation. I bought the stuff to make it an ultimate technically, or a Pike ultimate because that's what it is now. But I bought the charger and debonair upgrade, and the how-to is going up for that on Thursday. So that's the actual video. It's a little bit longer. It's about 13 minutes total, but it's a pretty in-depth video over how to do it yourself and that kind of a thing, and some of the struggles I had with doing it. But I bought the Revelation fork for 300 used, and it was a Revelation Select. And whenever I look at that kind of a thing, if you can find a used part like that, it was a new takeoff. When I got it, I mean, it looked brand new. There was not a single mark on it. So if you can find that, and then you compare $300 to say a Suntour Epixon, which you can buy off of eBay very readily for $200 to $220. And it's kind of like one of those things. It's, for the extra $80, in my opinion, for upgradability, the Revelation is hands down a better purchase. But it's secondhand, so the warranty and stuff aren't really in play there. So it's just an interesting thought process. But single track Jack, back to him. He's getting a DIY carbon bike that he picked, designed, and the color and everything. And I have no idea when it's going to be in, and neither does he. But he has an estimate shipping date of kind of the middle of this month. So we're hoping that's going to come in pretty soon. And ideally, he has a pretty cool Jameis. I'm sure you've seen it in some of the videos that we've posted that he's in. And we're basically going to take all the parts from that bike and put it on this DIY carbon. So we're hoping to be able to do like an unboxing and that kind of stuff and a buildup of this DIY carbon, because I've not seen a lot of those videos online. So hopefully that'll go good and will look really, really cool. But so those are some really good points. And those are just some of the questions I had. So how many of you would do the Walmart build? So just say in the comments if you don't mind. Here we go. How much was the DIY carbon frame? I believe it was $425. That included shipping, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if Growing Cloth's still here or not, but if you are, do you mind confirming that or not confirming that? Single track Jack? I don't know if you're still here or not. But what's it? How much? So I'm pretty sure it was 425 for a carbon hardtail with a boost through axle in the back, and you can do 27.5 or 29s. And in my opinion, that's really not a bad price. And with the bike shortage, being able to get it in about a month and a half is really not that bad of a wait time either. So we'll see when it actually comes in. And of course, we'll keep all you posted on that. But I would start with a decent, reliable bike and gradually upgrade. Tear it apart and learn how to disassemble and reassemble a thing. I really like that, Jonathan, myself. And that's honestly what I did. I started, and I mentioned this in one of my other live feeds, but I started with a GT Aggressor Pro and upgraded the bejesus out of it. I wish I knew now what I could have known then, one of those situations, because I dropped about a grand in that bike. I really did. They've had a price increase. I bought mine 3 years ago, and I paid about 310 shipping and everything. They're now averaging about 450 ish. But between the dropper post I added, I got Shimano Deore parts. I mean, I upgraded everything on that bike besides the wheel set, and it was close to about a grand I put into it. And my wife probably was gonna kill me when I was done with that, as that was my get me into mountain biking bike, and whew, that was my bad. But man, I loved P&W components for that one. That's for sure. They really hit some stuff out of the park. I love P&W components. But all right, let's see you back. I personally wouldn't do one, but it was cool watching you upgrade yours. I love the DJ, but don't see enough use for one around here other than the wood jumps. Yes, and that's so I live about a hour from an actual pump track. And whenever the trails are actually are red at Griffin, as in right now, since you live close to Griffin, you know this. It's gonna be red for a while, unfortunately, because of all just the snow melting and all that jazz. But I will be able to go to the pump track whenever Griffin is red, so I can do that, which is really cool. And I like having that option for the actual pump track and the dirt jumper, so that's neat. GT backwoods comp, nice. GT do make some very, very nice bikes, in my opinion. I think GT is very underrated for sure. It's in Shelbyville, Illinois. I'm not sure where you are located, SD, or how close. If you're on the Indiana side or the Illinois side, but it's an hour from me roughly. It's from Effingham about 30 minutes, or from Mattoon, Illinois about 30 minutes. But the pump track is awesome. Okay, so you are in Terre Haute. So yeah, it's a little bit further of a drive for you, unfortunately. That'd be closer to about 2 hours for you to get there. But if the trails are closed and you want to get some action, it's got some decent trails as well. So the cool thing is it has the pump track, but right on the back side of the pump track, they actually have legit trails as well. Hey, what's up, Fractured? Gosh, what time is it there for you? Midnight, give or take? Probably about midnight, isn't it? Hope you're doing good though, man. So today, what we're talking about, Fractured, since you just jumped on, is we're discussing how to go about upgrading a budget bike. I'm in the process of getting ready to acquire a frame set, a full suspension frame with the rear shock already, and trying to figure out how we want to upgrade it. If like I want to do the really cheap IXF crankset and that kind of a thing, or potentially like go it's one of him. I was close. I knew it was going to be close to midnight or so because last time it was about 3 a.m. But so that's what we're deciding, and we're trying to figure out for sure. And I think we're kind of leaning towards doing a more not budget, but a step above a budget. So I don't know what you'd call that. I don't want to call it like a mediocre build, but maybe just like try to find either microshift Advent X stuff and or potentially find Shimano Deore stuff, that kind of a situation. So, but I'm not sure what to do with it. But I'm wanting to do a kind of a slower build with this one, kind of like what I wanted to do originally with the Ragley build. With I'm not sure if anyone's on here right now that actually watched my Ragley build, but I was buying the parts, but I didn't have the frame. Or this time I'll have the frame and then I'll buy the parts and put them on as I do it and just kind of do it over a really long period of time, maybe like 2 months, 3 months, give or take, and just try to take it in really small increments and bites and just really dive into it. But I'm not sure if that'll be too long, but that way that'll leave me with more ability to be able to change kind of what I upload during the month because I don't like to like even with the Huffy. I'm not sure how you all felt about it, but even with the Huffy build, I didn't really like uploading a Huffy build every week until it was done. So I tried to space them out a little bit. The first 3 videos were every week, but I prefer to do something like each week that's different, whether one be a trail ride, one be an upgrade video, one be a a how-to video or anything like that. But I like to try to just keep it different. So what Ragley did you build? Nice. Okay, I gotcha. No, so the Ragley I was in the process of getting was actually the oh goodness, it was the 29er. Why can't I think what it's called? It was last year's model, but I had it pre-ordered in a place through Texas, and I had this frame pre-ordered for 3 months. And for some reason, they weren't able to allocate the amount that they were supposed to, so my pre-order got canceled. Unfortunately, I was very, very disappointed in that. But that's actually why I have the NS now. It's kind of dark, but this is actually the NS right here, right now. I was doing some work on it, but I was able to take all the parts that were going to go on the Ragley and put it on the NS frame. So that's actually how I ended up with an NS as opposed to a Ragley. So let me look up real quick what it was. I don't know why I can't think what the actual Ragley was called. That's going to bother me if I don't. It was a Big Owl. Ragley Big Owl is the one I was going to do, which is still a hardcore hardtail, 140-ish millimeter travel, that kind of shenanigans. So that was pretty cool though. But no, I love Ragleys. I think they're gorgeous. I bought my frame on a whim at 3 a.m. when my I have noticed. So I have a couple bikes that I'm watching on Chain Reaction right now, a couple different full suspensions, and legitimately, I get the email like between midnight and 3 a.m. for when they go back in stock. But yeah, it's probably a time thing for them compared to us, obviously, when they get it since we're in the States and they're across the ocean. But yeah, it's I get pinged around the same time. But it's crazy how fast those Ragleys go. And it's because the Ragleys are such a good bang for buck bike where this NS Eccentric was actually $30 cheaper than the Ragley, the frame itself, but they just like $300 for a hardtail frame, in my opinion, that's a terrific price for like a very decent hardtail to build up. Dude, they sell out so fast, SD. It's amazing how fast they sell out. And I've noticed the cheaper bikes are the ones that sell out like that. I mean, you can get on and find the $4,000 to $5,000 range bikes usually will linger for a day or two, but typically the anywhere between like $800 to $2,000 bikes, whether they be full suspension or hardtail, those things go so fast. And I was actually, I just, oh, hang, let's see what you said. I think the frame is great too for the price. I put it through its place. Oh yeah, I've taken my bike to Texas now. I've taken it to Bentonville once, to Lake Leatherwood right by Bentonville, and it was absolutely amazing. I had a blast on my hardtail, and a lot of people ask me why I went from a full suspension back to a hardtail, and the reason being for me is I think I bought a hardtail, or I'm sorry, I think I bought a full suspension too early when I started riding myself. So I didn't really get as good as I should have gotten. So I decided to sell my full suspension and stick with only the hardtail to work on my personal skills, my personal skill sets and levels. So that's why I only have a hardtail now. But again, 100% preference. And I mean, if you get a bike with a ton of travel, enduro style bike with 170 in the front and like 150ish in the back or so, there's a lot of room for making mistakes and the bike compensating. So I just ripped my way off. Hardtail. Full suspension around here because I come from racing dirt bikes. I love the Ibis Ritmo AF. I think the builds for that bike are terrific bang for buck builds, and that is a bike that I have considered many times to purchase. I'm very impressed with the Ibis Ritmo AF. I think they did a terrific thing with releasing that bike and the spec build they did. And I think DVO suspension, I'm not sure if that's the one you have, if you have the one with the DVO suspension, But I do think DVO suspension is a very, very good suspension for value in that kind of a situation. So I know they're still kind of higher up. They're definitely not budget in my opinion because they're $800, $900 for the Sapphire fork. That is a little pricey, but it's some very nice suspension. So, but all right, so I'm going to ask again because it looks like some more people have joined. So the question that I'm asking is, I'm in the process. I'm going to start building up a full suspension from the frame, and I do. It will come. It will have the rear shock as well. So, what do you recommend for a budget build? Okay, do you like to see the IXF cranksets and that kind of stuff, or do you prefer the step above that? So, like a SRAM dub with maybe the NX or SX crankset or that kind of a thing. And so, if whatever you prefer to see, please just put in the comments, and we're just kind of talking back and forth about different things and that kind of jazz. And then also, if you build up a budget bike, this is the second part of the question. Do you prefer to buy a Walmart bike and upgrade that, or do you prefer to find more of like a budget? So like the NS Eccentric Hardtail, that frame itself is about $300, which is a pretty decent priced frame for what bikes can legitimately cost you. So just kind of feeling what people like to see or don't like to see and that kind of a thing. So if you haven't rode one and want to, let me know. Oh man, it is the DVO diamond and stuff. I figured that. Oh, you got the coil in the back. Nice. I would still like to just meet up with you sometime to ride. That's the game plan once everything dries up a little bit. Good golly, it's been ridiculous. But I believe Schwinn just released a new bike, a Schwinn Ascension. It's a 29er. I've had a couple people tell me about that. Mid-range components, I worry about weight. Okay. Stay away from SX, go straight to GX. So, good point, Fracture. I've actually had GX, SX, NX, and I've also had XX1 components. And I was in my yard and I pedaled with a SX build. And I'm pretty sure SX is below NX. I think someone can correct me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's SX, NX, and then it keeps going up. But I legitimately just pedaled and my rear derailleur ripped off. It just broke. And I was like, oh, it was actually on my nuke proof scout from 2 years ago. And I I just pedaled. I didn't shift or anything. I just pedaled, and it literally so where it screws into the derailleur hanger, that was still attached, and the actual derailleur broke itself. And I was like, "Holy freaking cow!" Just shattered the thing. So I replaced it with the GX derailleur because you're only talking then about 70. I'm sorry, it's like $20 to $30 difference in the price for components. So, but no, I run GX on this bad boy actually, and I love GX. So stay away from SX, go straight to GX. Sounds good. We'll have to meet up for sure. NX and basically the same as GX. Yeah, I hear that. I don't mind NX at all. My first bike was a Roscoe 7 and it came with the SX screw set, and I hated it. Bad shifting from the get go. I had a terrible time getting mine set up too. And I don't know what's up with that, but it seems like it's one of those weird situations where it just I don't know. There are just some budgets like SX stuff. They're just some budget parts that they're just not good. And that's why I'm very interested in using the Advent X because, like you said, some of the bigger YouTubers have said really good things about the Advent X. And so that's what I'm very interested in getting. And I can actually get that right now, it seems as though. And it's about 200 for the whole package. So that's what I'm really considering. SX. That's what I thought, Fracture. Thank you. So I thought SX was the cheapest. And you know, I don't want to say I get frustrated over complete bikes, but they must get a crazy good deal on SX components to be throwing them on the bikes the way they do. Because I don't get it. Whenever you, especially with SX compared to NX, and then the price difference to go into GX, it's not a huge difference whenever you compare it, like if you're buying the full Grupos. But once you get them on the legitimate bike, it seems like the bike price jumps to about $1,000 more, 500 to $1,000 more. Of course, you'll get better suspension, typically going from Suntour to actual Rock Shocks or Foxa and that kind of stuff. But it's interesting to me how that works. And I know they have to make a profit, obviously. So there's something there that I don't know. But they have to be buying those SXs for like nothing. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in that market. So, all right, let me get caught up real quick. What do we got? If you're ever in Atlanta, ooh, I have not been to Georgia for a while, but we've been actually had a friend who just recently moved to Georgia, and we've been talking about visiting them. So that might be a good reason to bring the bike and stop and say hi. So I'm not sure how close they live to Atlanta though. So that might be something to try to figure out and message you over. But it's crazy when you see $2,000 bikes that come. Yeah, exactly, SD. That's exactly what I'm talking about. If it's a $2,000 bike, it better be having some form of something to compensate. And it's so hard for me to look into, like, you see a $2,000 bike and it comes with SX, and it's just kind of like, I don't get that. And again, it goes back to it, but when you and like I guess it goes back to just how much do they really get the SX stuff for? I mean, are they getting the full Groupos for like $50 to like $100? And that's for like the entire group set. I'm talking cranks, chain, everything. Are they getting it for that much? And then you always see the SRAM levels, hydraulic brakes, SRAM level, SRAM level, SRAM level, SRAM level. It's like Oprah just handing them out. That's what they come with. It's like SX SRAM level. And I ran a bike with SRAM level for a while just to try to get it, and I changed it back to Shimano. I just personally, I'm a Shimano guy. I love the easiness of bleeding. I like the different style of the fluid it uses. The hydraulic fluid is just it's just better in my opinion. It's not nearly as corrosive as what SRAM uses, and it is easier to bleed in my opinion. Of course, if I've done a lot of SRAMs, which I've only bled one or two SRAM breaks, not a ton, but it is what it is there. But yeah, it's so interesting to me. But they have to get those dime by the dozen kind of a situation. So it's just crazy there. But if I'm spending that much, I want a decent group set and bikes. Yeah, I haven't ran Shimano brakes, but I have codes. Yes, I've heard SRAM, the higher end SRAM brakes, such as codes RSCs and those kind of ones, or even just codes in general. I hear they're quite a bit better. So, and that's the other thing though. Like, I don't see those style brakes until you get to like the $4,000 to $5,000 bike range, and it's just kind of like I don't get it. But I mean, and that's why I do a lot of price hunting before I buy a bike. I'll find like 3 to 4 bikes in a specific price range that I want, and then I will compare the components and I'll legitimately break down the components. So I'll be like, okay, this fork brand new's $600. This fork brand new's $400. So this bike has a better build for this price. And I don't know if you do that, if any of you do that too when you go bike shopping, but it's weird to think about. What is that? You need to come ride Windrock. Oh goodness. I was talking to Rich Moore about Windrock, and that doesn't sound fun. Going down next week for a downhill race. Steepest place I've ever. Oh man, I've heard some crazy things about Windrock. I will definitely rent a downhill bike if I ever go there, though. I am not going to take my hardtail there. There's no way. So I'm not sure who else has joined. I know I can see the people who are commenting, but so the title of this video is basically about building up a budget bike. So I'm going to be buying single track jacks, full suspension frame. And what I'm trying to find out is what kind of a build would you like to see? Would you like to see me do a super budget build, such as IXF cranksets and things like that? Or would you prefer me to see me do like a little bit better of a build, such as potentially GX SRAM stuff, or maybe Shimano Deor and that kind of a thing? So that's what we're trying to figure out. And also the front fork. I've not really talked much about that. It has a very decent RockShox rear suspension that's included with it, that's on it already. But I don't know what I'm gonna put up front. 2800E is what I paid for my Dune. SX was good for the first bike park day, and well, in my rear rim that I did. Oh, you bent your rear rim too? That is no good. Mid-level build, so you're not kicking yourself down the road replacing the entry-level parts. Yeah, I totally get that, man. That's it seems like that's what we're gonna be going with. But I think I'm not gonna do the more popular kind of stuff. I think I'm gonna try to do I think I'm gonna do mix and match. I think I'm towards the Microshift Advent X. Have any of you used the Microshift Advent X? I'd really like to try that. And I like the idea of just a 10 speed, just a little more simple kind of a scenario. But I'd be curious to see the Advent X if you do get it. I think it'd be a fun one to do. And like you said, I've seen some really good reviews over it. I was looking at the Box Prime 9, but some of the reviews of that are rough. A lot of them are saying they were snapping chains left and right. I know one person said, and of course, bad news always travels quicker than good news kind of a scenario. But I've heard some people say that they snapped 3 chains and they were having a really hard time getting replacements from Box because they were just snapping way too quick on climbs. So I don't think I want to do that. but I think I'm leaning towards the Advent X. So what about brakes? Brakes on a budget build. Let's talk that. I've seen some Bucklos hydraulic brakes on Amazon for like $60 for the set. Should I buy a pair of those and see what happens? Or should I just go ahead and do something a little more expensive there? And one for me, I'm more of a spend more money on brakes kind of guy because brakes are pretty important to stop you. But obviously, I wouldn't do anything crazy on those Bucklos brakes to start with. I wouldn't take them to a downhill park or something like that. But yeah, I'm kinda and I know they have the Bucklos fork for like $200, 2 pot or 4 pot. It doesn't matter to me. The cool thing about bikes are if I do get cheap brakes or that are only 2 pots and they're just not cutting it, I'll just replace them eventually. So that's not too bad. I'm not 100% worried about like wasting money necessarily, but it's not something I want to like risk my life on to save some money. Yep. So, and I already have the tires. I have a spare set of Maxxis in my shed. So tires are good. Those will be fine. Tires will be good. I'm not going to skimp on those for sure. But that's exactly how I feel, Jonathan, over the brakes. It's kind of like I'd rather just not, just try to get the Shimano Deors when they come in stock because they're about 75 for a pair if you just get this the 2 pot. And I think that's pretty reasonable. And even this, I run Shimano XT and they're just single pot or I'm sorry, dual pot and they go for gold. Yeah, that's not. I don't. I mean, I really want to try some haze. I've heard nothing but great things about those, but not so budget breaks. But can't hype 4 piston Saints enough. I really want to try Shimano Saints. I have never had the Saints. I was very impressed with the Shimano SLXs. I bought the SLXs and put them on the nuke proof reactor. And for the price for those, they're about 120 a pair. So I got the two of them for 240 ish. And I was very impressed with the Shimano's, the SLXs. I love the XTs. These have been on 4 bikes now, I think. I just keep switching them from bike to bike because I love these XTs. They're terrific and they've treated me very, very well. So I don't know if and when I will change those or even need to, but I've actually the only 4 piston brakes I've ever ran were the SRAM levels. So I don't know if you'd count that because they were kind of bleh because they're just kind of thrown on cheaper bikes. So I'd really like to get some 4 pot brakes and see how much of a big difference it is. I was also looking into the Magura trails because they come with 4 piston in the front and 2 piston in the back, and I've heard some decent things about that. And I've never had Magura brakes, so I kind of want to try those just to see what they're like. And I think they're pretty budget friendly. I think they're like 2 to 250 for the set of them. So that wasn't bad at all in my opinion. But the problem is everything's out of stock. So I don't know when those will be back in stock. I'll just have to set some email notifications and hope for the best, I guess. Oh man, that's crazy though. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing the for single track jack. I'm gonna be doing the build, the DIY carbon bike build. I'm very excited to see that bike. I don't remember if he custom painted it or not. I'm thinking he was going to, but then didn't, and he left it black so he could do the accent colors. Big difference when I went from the codes from the Shimano M200 Durasco. Yes. For me, when you upgrade brakes, one of the biggest differences for me were levers. So, like the M200s, for instance, the levers are pretty long and they're mainly for 2 finger braking. And they even say 2 to 3 finger braking. And of course, with mountain biking, you can see mine are kind of far out and it's for 1 finger braking. And with the lever actuation, it's just being so much short, or the lever's so much smaller. The actuation is just so much better, in my opinion. And you can do the single finger braking and it feels terrific. I love that. Oh yeah, dude, the M200 lever is just atrocious in my opinion. They're good they're good brakes. I think they'd stop absolutely fine. But yeah, the lever's like 3 inches long. It's insane. But that's just how it goes. All right, so what about wheel set? I think this is a very, very good like question to debate. So of course, on this bike, the wheel set was 1,200 freaking dollars. Okay, which is that's expensive. It's top of the line wheel set almost. It's Hydras. I mean, they're i9 Hydras. It sounds like an angry beehive coming down. You either love it or you hate it. The actuation is freaking brilliant. I love my Hydra hubs. Obviously, for a budget build, you're not going to spend $1,200 on a rim set. That's just not what you're going to do. So, Like, what do you look at? I love my hydras. Yeah, now we're talking. What do we got? I had a chance last summer to try friend's bike with Saint brakes and 200 millimeter rotors, front and back. Whoa, 200 in the back is pretty crazy. I have 203 on mine and 180 in the back. Stopping power was in level. I might eject myself. Where'd Fractured go? He went on the other side of the hill. That's awesome, man. Stan's MK3 wheel set. So the rims on this are actually Stan's rims, the MK3 rim set. So the wheel set are Hydras laced to the stands. And I did that because I was gonna do carbon, but I'm not a weight weenie, and honestly, carbon freaks me out. I definitely do believe carbon is fine, but it just freaks me out. So I'm just gonna stick with my stands rims that I have. But do the what kind of hub do the MK3 wheel set come with? Do you know? Is it actually a stands hub? And the interesting point, for, a question for me. So, like, if you do say like the DT Swiss, which evidently a lot of people have watched that DT Swiss hub conversion video, which that was just one of those videos I kind of did on a whim and really didn't think many people were going to watch it. And I think it's my video with the most views. But I had the, I think it was E1900 wheel set. It's either M or E. I'm pretty sure it's the E1900 wheel set. And like with that wheel set, they're budget friendly, pretty budget friendly. But you can upgrade to the star ratchet for the actuation to be much quicker. Whereas, if you do a cheaper wheel set, a lot of those you have to change the actual hubs. They're Neo hub on them. Okay, so I'll definitely check into those then. And then it goes back to the same question though: are they in stock? Everything's out of stock. Not sure on engagement. That's okay. For this build, I'm not too terribly worried about engagement, I don't think. It's just I want to make sure that what I'm building, you all want to enjoy and see. And at the same time, it's not just like, again, like some of you are saying, it's not just a crap build. So, because I mean, you can buy the SX stuff secondhand, but again, I don't necessarily want that on my bike for the price. I think we can do better. And that's kind of what I'm shooting for. I think the good build project is to make a very decent budget friendly bike for under 2000. I think that's the overall goal, and that's going to include wheel set, fork, and all that stuff. So let's discuss fork. I like the wheel set idea, so we'll just kind of play that by the wheel set by ear. And I'm going to try really hard to buy everything new. That's the other thing. 10-degree engagement. Oh, that's perfect then. Oh yeah, that's great. 6 balls, 36 tooth, 10-degree engagement. That's not bad at all. That's actually pretty snazzy. 310, I think, for that's really not bad at all. $310 for a whole wheel set. That's very reasonable in my opinion. Hmm. Okay. And maybe you can get lucky and sometimes find those 15% off coupons and things that'll work for that kind of stuff on the different websites. So, okay, cool. Definitely mentally noting that one. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, SD. And Fractured said it was good too. WTB and Mavic have never done me wrong. I don't know about engagement though. I think engagement are one of those things where it's a quality of life upgrade. It's not a necessity by any means. For me, when I was in Texas trying to do some of those rock sections, it was very, very nice. But it wasn't anything like if you don't have it, I don't think you'll miss it. But once you get something with decent engagement, you'll really notice the difference. So it's kind of one of those weird situations. How do you compare that Bontrager 108T to the 6 hub? The 108T. Ooh, that's definitely better than the other one. The engagement's going to be twice as better, KJR. Hey, welcome, KJR. I'm not sure how long you've been on for, but it's good to see you or talk to you. I'm about country. Open a private tab and use rent. Ooh, that's good to know. Thank you. I might have to look into that after this live feed. So I'm not sure how much longer we'll go for. I think there's only one more thing to go over, and it's the fork, which we'll touch on that in just a minute. So basically, I'm trying to build this bike mentally with all of you. So whenever we start to do it, we'll have a really good idea of what's going on, and I'm very, very stoked. So this is going to be a super fun build. Obviously, I can't start it till Single Track Jack gets his new frame in. So hey, yeah, man, I rock the Bontrager and I can't go back at all. Yes, it's one of those weird things. Like I said, if you don't have the like instant engagement, which I mean, it's some of them are instant engagement. I consider this one instant engagement, the Hydras, because I mean it's such a fraction of a hair, to get the actual bite. You don't notice anything. But like Onyx, for instance, their hub is actually it's literally instant the way it works, and that's why it's silent. But no, I think for the 6 pulse compared to that, it's going to be different because even if you just look at it, 10-degree engagement compared to 36 tooth with 6 pulse, if you have 6 pulse with what was it, 100 and what was that number at 108 teeth? Yeah, I mean, it's going to be basically right at 50% quicker engagement, roughly. I'm not a mathematician, so I work on an ambulance. You just gotta go with it sometimes. I haven't rode SR Sun Tours, but I've seen a decent amount of videos saying they are good. RockShox Yari 170 millimeter travel and later upgrade. See, okay, so for this bike, I'll have to do 140 again. So the bike is a trail style build. So the rear shock, I believe, is 130 or 120, and they recommend 130 to 140 for the front fork. So I'll have to do a Revelation or a Pike to get around that length. And I don't know if you caught this yet, Fractured, but I actually just upgraded all the internals on my Revelation, and that video goes live Thursday for doing the upgrade. I did the RCT3 charger, and I did the Debonair air spring, and it really wasn't too bad of an upgrade at all to do. There was a couple weird things that I ran into, like one of the snap rings, and the Revelation does not have eyelets to take it out, and that thing sucked so bad to get out. It was not fun to get out. It was miserable. But I found a couple, which I said I didn't want to buy used, but I've already found a couple used pikes for around $400. I actually found a pike ultimate for 600, and I think that's still just a little much for this build. What I'm wanting to do, I'd almost rather still just buy like a $300 to $400 like shock if I can find a Revelation or pike around that price, and then do the internals later because I honestly didn't mind the Revelation without the upgrade. Uh, Saying that, I've not gotten to ride the new upgrade. Like my English is super good, but I've not gotten to ride this yet since I've done the upgrade because all the trails are closed. So I'm very interested to see what that looks like. How do you guys think about I guess like DVO and stuff too? Don't buy the RockShox 35 gold. I have it and it's trash. Even after changing seals, my friend has a Fox 34. Man, that's my next fork. Okay, I've actually never had a Fox, so that's definitely something to consider. And I see used Fox go online all the time because they'll upgrade to like the Kashima one or something like that, and they're usually decent priced as well. So are they the what are the builds called? The cheaper builds? It's like premieres or something like that. I know like for RockShox, it's called the Select, which is the cheaper version. And I know Fox has one too. It's Fox 34. I don't remember if it's Premiere or whatever it's called, but that's one of them as well. And you can upgrade the internals of those later as well. Performance. Thank you, Jonathan. Fox. I knew it started with the P, but I couldn't remember what the word was. But yeah, Fox Performance. And I'm pretty sure, which Jonathan, you can probably correct me on this, but I'm pretty sure you can do the upgrades just like you can do on RockShox to turn them into the better style with like the fit grips and all that stuff. But I've never messed around with Fox at all. I don't even know if I've ever had an actual Fox suspension on any of my bikes. I've had X Fusions, I've had RockShox, I've had Sun Tours. I would like DVO. I would really like DVO SD. I know I've heard so much good thing about adjustability on the DVO, and I really like the prices of the DVOs. I think they're so cool. Super plush. So this plush. Mm, man, it's gonna be fun. They are super helpful with any questions too. Great people. Man, if you can call a place that sells bike parts and talk to somebody. So, like for me, the most interaction I've ever had with a company, there were two companies I'd say Canyon for when I had my Strive, and they were phenomenal. I loved Canyon. I was so impressed with their customer service and support. I thought they were just amazing. And then the other one that I would say is really good is P&W Components, which I will rant and rave about P&W. So I'm really sorry about that, guys. I'm kind of a very big fangirl, fanboy, whatever you want to call me. But I love P&W. I think they are terrific, and especially their products have a lifetime warranty now. I mean, come on, check this out. I don't know if you can see this on camera or not. Boom, that's instant. P&W dropper. That's so good. It's $200. So terrific. All right, let me see what. Sorry, I'm getting lower for free. Oh, sorry. Let me get caught up on some of the questions I got on a P&W tangent. Only experience with Fox, what I had was with my old downhill bike, Fox 40 WC edition, had almost 10 years in after maintenance, always like new. 10 years fractured? That's pretty good. That's a good amount of years on a fork, man. That's terrific. That's good to know. Some of the Foxes allow you to change the air spring for different ranges of travel. Okay, okay. Customer service is a big thing for me too. When I ordered my fork for the Ragley, they didn't have the lures in black, but they did in green. I called them and they switched the lures. Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. They did that for you. That's terrific. Wow. Yeah, a lot of places wouldn't do that. If only P&W Shima coating. Oh man, maybe they'll come up with their own coating or some jazz, you know. But it's funny that you say that, KJR, because no, seriously, because what are the cheapest Fox Kashima coated droppers? 350? Are they 350? Hey, welcome back. You've missed so much, Joe. Single track Jack. We have talked about you so much today. Hey, actually, since you're back on, how much did the DIY carbon bike cost you? Some of the guys were asking above, and I thought it was 425 roughly. And then the next part of that question is, A, do you have any updates on that bloody tracking? Because we need to get that bike made for you. Very excited over that. And two, three, did you do a paint or did you just leave it black? So it was 425. Okay. Thank you, Growing Cloth. You're the man. But you just left it black, right? I think you just left it black, the frame. So what's that? What you see on their website may not actually reflect their stock. Oh, hang on. I need to read your first one. If you decide on DVO, use Remy15 for 15%. You can email. They will work with you on getting something. Oh, awesome. That's so cool, man. Yeah, I did not know about that discount. That's really good to know because I've not spent any money. So that's exciting. That'll be fun to do. When you see it on their website, it may not actually reflect their stock. Okay, so we'll see what's going on there. But all right, so we've touched on wheel set. We've touched on drivetrain. We've touched on front fork. Oh, hang on. Gah. No, I'm mad about it. No updates yet. I'm gonna leave it black so we can do those bright blue tone. That's right. You told me that. The Tron accents. That's gonna look so cool, man. And it randomly gets stuck and doesn't go up. Oh, dang. That's no good, man. Oh, sorry, guys. My Facebook just dung up. So, yeah, I've been very impressed with P&W parts. I've had quite a few P&W parts, KJR, and dang, that's a bummer to hear about your dropper being stuck, man. But I think I don't know if you can confirm this or not unless your bike just came with it. We're going to So fun fact, guys, we're going to Cracker Barrel according to my wife after we're done after we're done with the live feed. So what are you guys having for dinner tonight before I get off? I think that means I need to start wrapping this up is what that means. She's Oh, never mind. She just said no, I don't. So we still got a little bit. But always check what YouTubers are sponsored by various companies, and most will have a discount code used. Oh, gotcha. So Remy is probably sponsored by Backcountry. That's why they have one. Let's get that P&W sponsorship. I really doubt anyone on P&W is going to watch this, but I will sponsor. I will let them sponsor me so quick. I have. Oh man, I even have P&W parts that aren't on this bike just ready to go. Like I have P&W grips. I have another loam lever. I love P&W. That's like the dream for me is to be sponsored by P. I don't even want a bike sponsor. I don't want a bike sponsor. I want P&W to sponsor me. Give me droppers and grips, baby, all day. Oh goodness gracious. So it seems like brakes and the fork are some things. Brakes we don't necessarily want to skimp on. Let me correct that. So we don't want to really skimp on brakes. So buckless brakes are out. Loam lever giveaway. Guys, actually, we have what 23 subs to 500. We're at 477. That's so exciting. So we're moving. We're moving on up. I mean, I don't have a goal. It's just happening, which is really exciting. I love checking the number and seeing it go up. That's cool. Brakes and suspension are priority on a bike. Yes, I 100% agree with that. So I think the micro shift will be really fun to mess with. And like I said, I don't want to do IXF again. I think I want to do something a little bit better. It is a party, man. I'm stoked. That'll be halfway to 1,000, which now I'm trying to think what we kind of talked about it. And the last giveaway, I did the $40 Amazon gift card. And I did that because shipping, because of COVID and stuff right now is just whack still. So I didn't want to ship something to someone. Excuse me, coffee. I didn't want to ship something to someone and it get lost. I actually shipped something to one of the followers in October. He won the drawing for the tubeless valves, and it's been 3 months and they're still not there. I think they got they have to be lost. So I actually ended up figuring out how to get him a pounds Amazon gift card for the amount of tubeless valves and gave him that. So I did make that right because I didn't want to say I did a giveaway and then not get it. So I did that for him. The other one got the $40 Amazon gift card. So hey, what's up, Trail Action? It's good to see you, hear you, talk to you, read your messages. We'll figure it out. But so we're kind of wrapping up a little bit, and I would like some ideas over what do you think I should do for 500 for the giveaway? You know, I mean, I would love to do $500, but sadly, I don't have that kind of money just laying around, so I can't do that. But are there some parts that just anyone can use it, at all the time? I did the tubeless valves the one time. Are there's I guess like I don't know. I feel like a new chain or something would be lame. I didn't like doing the actual gift card. I feel like I like sending things. There's just something really cool and special about opening a package in the mail. I love that. And also on my bikes, oh, you're good, man. There's no time limit, Trail Action. I'm just glad to see you jumped on. It's always good to hear from you all just live. I love the interaction. So we'll have to figure out how to set up like an actual meeting. So okay, groin cloth. You have a heads up on this. Everyone, we've talked about this. Groin cloth is single track jack. So he know he knows all my plans. Maybe grips. Okay. Maybe some P&W grips. But let's see. Okay, so we go to so let's trail action. Let's say grips. So here's my biggest concern though. So like, I'm not sure if Fractured's still on, but he lives across the sea, and right now with COVID, the last thing I sent to someone across the sea got lost. And that's not, I love grips, but I don't want to be like US only. And these are the weird thoughts that go through my head when I'm trying to think of a giveaway because I want it to be fun and I want it to be exciting. And sadly, I'm not a millionaire and I can't just do like whole bikes and things like that, which maybe someday I can do that because I would love to give away bikes to people in need or anything like that, because I think biking is so cool. I used to be stuck indoors. You can see my posters. I love video games. I used to manage Game Stops and all that fun stuff, but dude, you know what would be cool? One of those ground. Oh, what if we did? Okay, what if we did a Chicken Cindy's mud guard? I designed a Chicken Cindy's mud guard. I'm still here, closing into 2 a.m. Oh man, fractured, dude. I hope you know how much I love the fact that you hang out. But gosh, man, it's so early. So I love that idea. And actually, I have Chicken Cindy T-shirts too. And okay, so if you go back up, Groin Cloth said decals. I have, if you see my videos, I have just that little stick figure chicken. Okay. And I designed that chicken on my wife's Cricut. If you decide I'll just buy it. No, that's one of those things, I don't know how I feel about selling stuff or that kind of a thing, but I think it'll be so food. Dude, I love that chicken night shift. That's true, man. I hear that. I don't necessarily work night shift because I work 24, so I just work the day shift, the whole day shift. I'd say a mud fender would be a good giveaway and efficient on shipping. That's true too. It'd be super thin. So I like that idea. I like the idea of designing a Chicken Cindy mud guard online gift card for like an MTB website. We can give away 50 decals. My wife is messaging me on Facebook telling me what we should do. But I would really like to send some of these decals to people. So I have the Chicken Cindy's, just the little, it's the stick figure, silly looking chicken, and I love it. I love the simplicity of it. I think it's just stinking cool looking. And my actual Chicken Cindy logo with the actual chicken riding the bike, my wife actually had my old high school art teacher design that, and I've thought about putting that on stickers too. But it's just one of those things. And actually, I think it's in this. Let me see if I can find it. So, Hardtail Party actually got a hold of me once and sent me some of their stickers. I believe his name's Steve. I don't want to, I'm pretty sure it is. But he hit me up with some really cool stickers. And I was so stoked to get these. I mean, they're just stickers, but it's so cool. And you can do with them whatever you want to do with them. So I think that's so cool. All right, let's go back to this. Also, how did you come up with Chicken Cindy's as a name? Meant to ask you that earlier. All right. This is perfect because single track Jack's on. And so I'll go over this. And I've talked about it on a couple different things. My really good friend, Real Agent P as in Paul, or P as in Perry, because his name's Perry. Me and him did a thing called Tea Time. And we were drinking tea and did a video chat. And there's a lot of kind of background talk about me and my life and who I am and that kind of stuff. And it was really cool. But we went into detail a little over that. But this is the short and sweet version of where the name Chicken Cindy's came from. Hey, Bobby, how's it going? But no, so this is where Chicken Cindy's came from, okay? Me and Jackie, single track Jack, me and Jackie were no chicken tendies, more Griffin Cindy. So we were on a bike ride and we were talking about getting chicken tendies or chicken tenders. We either will get oh what is it? What chicken do we either get Taco Bell or we get the hey, single trad Jack, help me out here. What's the chicken place we go to? Everyone's gonna be dogging on me because I can't think of what this chicken place is called. But we were talking about getting chicken tendies and Chick-fil-A. Thank you. This is pretty quick. I didn't know how much delay there was for this compared to that, but I just said that like 5 seconds ago. So this must not be too much of a delay. But all right, back to the story. Hey, Bob, we got two Bobbies in the house. How's it going over, Bobby? We got Bobby T and we have Bobby Baseball. But so we kind of hit on budget bike build and that kind of a thing. We're kind of wrapping up right now a little bit, but we're talking about we're getting really close to 500 subs. We're talking about the different things we can give away for the 500 subs. And then we're now talking about where the name Chicken Cindy's came from. So me and Single Track Jack were out bike riding and we talked about getting chicken tenders and we were calling them chicken tendies. And then we decided that before we could get chicken tendies, we had to get chicken Cindy's or Griffin Cindy's. So then that name kind of turned into Chicken Cindy's. So don't be a chicken, get Cindy. But the entire reason of this channel originally was going to be called Eats. So EATS, Eats and Yeets, YEETS. And we were going to get food and mountain biking. That was going to be the entire premise of the channel. Eats and Yeets is what it was going to be called. And we loved that. It was going to be so stinking funny. But at the end of the day, for me, it was just really weird walking into restaurants with cameras and things like that. So I never wanted to do that. Well, I have to. Oh, okay. We need more post ride gyros. Oh, euros. Get them gyros. But so the name channel turned into Chicken Cindy's. And I loved the idea of don't be a chicken, get Cindy. So that's why the logo is actually a chicken and he's getting Cindy. So Chicken Cindy's. But hopefully that explains it a little better for you, SD, on where the actual name Chicken Cindy's came from. So how's it going, Nutty? So this is the idea that I really like now for the 500 giveaway. So love it. What a good backstory to the thing. And the other cool thing is though, like if you type in Chicken Cindy's, there's nothing. Chicken Cindy's is so unique, and I love that. And that's one of the like most favorite parts for me over that is just Chicken Cindy's. So this is what we're thinking for the 500 giveaway is a special edition kind of thing from Groundkeeper's Fenders and designing a Chicken Cindy's mudguard and sending that to someone. So it'll be a one of. I won't even ride one myself because I just think it'd be more cool to actually send that to somebody and just let them have a Chicken Cindy. Haha, love it. What a good backstory. Oh, that's what I just read that. But no. So what do you think about a Chicken Cindy mudguard? Gotta go. Looking forward to riding with you. Yeah, see you, SD man. Take care, brother. But no, I like the idea of that. And then we were talking about some Gerald Action likes it. Mudguard idea is so good. Oh, Jackie saying bye. So I really like the idea of the mudguard and designing it. So if a lot of you don't know it, but I have a Groundkeeper mudguard on my fender or on my bike as my fender, and you can design them and upload pictures and everything yourself. So I think that's a terrific 500 giveaway. Speaking of the budget builds, check out my YouTube video of big box full suspension bike. Various stuff promotion, but oh, no worries, Nutty. You're good, man. I doesn't bother me one bit. If you're on here, guys, and you want to see an unboxing, check out Nutty. I'll actually check it out right after this, Nutty. But no, but so what we discussed, so as we wrap up to anyone who's talking right now, we were trying to debate on what kind of a full suspension build we want to do. So we were talking either super cheap stuff like SXNX. Oh, you're good, Nutty. No worries, man. But a SXNX build with like IXF crankset and like Suntour fork, like super budget friendly build, or like a step above that. So as in we do Shimano Deore build or Microshift Advent X build. And obviously with the wheel set, we wanted to stick around like the $200 to $400 price range and that kind of a thing. And the the problem with building a bike up, it's going to be a little pricey. So a lot of people, what you'll do is like a big box bike, for instance, whether it be like the Schwinn Axum or the Schwinn Taft or something like that. You'll buy that, and you already have, like the meat and the potatoes. You have a whole bike. It's good to go. And then you just kind of upgrade what you want to upgrade as you go. So what we're thinking about doing, or what we're going to be doing, is can't wait to the spring. We'll be getting into bike parking. Oh, that's awesome, Fractured. Good for you, man. That's terrific. That's something I would love to do. But so, have you ever considered buying a frame from AliExpress? I have not, Nutty. I've looked on there for some different frames and things like that, but I'm not sure if you might have missed this part because you just got on a little bit ago. But a single track Jack, he has a Jameis full suspension, and he's actually switching back to a hardtail. So he designed a DIY carbon bike. That's the website, DIY carbon bike, and he designed a hardtail. So we're switching all the parts from his Jameis full suspension to his actual hardtail. So I'm going to be buying the full suspension frame and shock from him, and I'm wanting to build that up as a budget friendly full suspension build. So I'm kind of starting with just a frame, which I think is going to be. I'm just trying really hard to be patient on that. Jackie, I want to so bad just dismantle your full suspension right now and make a video of it. But my dad has a Chinese carbon bike. Did he get it from AliExpress Trail Action? Or I'm guessing he did, right? Or just from something like that of that nature? Let me know. And how long has he had it, and does he like it, and does it do good? There's a few questions there, just kind of piquing my interest since you said he has one. So we're starting with basically a frame. And I've not said anything to Groincloth about this yet, but I'm actually in contact with a place by where I live, Dietrich, Illinois, who powder coats. And I'm actually talking to them about powder coating the frame and changing it entirely. So I'm wanting to do a matte white powder coat, and I'm looking into like purple sparkles in it, kind of a thing. I didn't design it per se. It was, oh, gotcha. You're true. You're true. That's a good point. Single track. Sorry about that. But so I'm actually wanting to repaint the frame entirely, which, like I said, I'm not told single track Jack. Yeah. so, so the game plan is to take this bike, make it entirely naked, take bearings out and everything, take it to them, and repaint it. Legit, that white and purple. Yeah. So, but I really want a matte white. I don't want it to be gloss white. I want a matte white finish with the purple sparkles in it. But I still need to get the actual estimate. And if it's like a couple hundred, like if we're talking like 300 to 400, I'm not gonna do it. But if it's 200 and less, I'll probably do it. If it's not, I'm debating on painting it myself and trying to do the spray paint. So it's a single speed rigid full, probably from eBay or something. It's working pretty well. Good. How much is that? I'd love to change the color of my bike. So KJR, I'm not sure. They've not reached back, unfortunately. So we're hoping to find that out pretty soon. I bought the i2A7 group set recently, 10 speed 42 cassette for $80 Canadian. Oh wow. So that'd be like 50 or 60 for US. To finally finish off my build. I prefer matte so much more than, oh, I do too, man. Matte is so much better. So, fun update on the Huffy build, which this might be a good question for you, KJR, since you're, no, was it? Hang on. No, Nutty. Nutty, answer this for me, man. You might know this answer since you live in Canada. Have you ever heard of the bike brand Evolve? So EVOLVE. Have you ever heard of them? Make sure to tape the please where you put the parts in. Oh, the phases. Yes. So I'm sorry, Bobby. Yeah, yeah. Let me elaborate a little bit better on that. So what I'm wanting to do is do like a slow build. So I want to do like a review over the part I built. So for instance, I'll start with the frame and we'll talk about. So Evolve is a bike brand and it's located in Canada. I believe it's British Columbia, Canada, that part over there. I think it might be that area. I'm not 100% sure. But Evolve is a bike brand that's located in Canada. And I had just heard of them, but they have a dirt jumper frame that I'm really wanting to buy. Kind of want to get the Huffy Scout and upgrade it because I want a dirt jumper. So I think the Huffy Scout is terrific for dirt jumper. So what I am learning for me though, the Huffy Scout frame is too small for me. And so trail action for you, if you're 5'10" or shorter, you should be okay. If you're any taller than 5'10", it's a tight fit. So I'm 5'10", and I fit it, but it is a little snug for me. Okay. So that's just something to keep in mind. But if you can find a Huffy Scout and you can grab one, totally worth the upgrade. But sorry, one of my lights just shut off. I had a couple lights on, so it got a little dim. But I think the Scout's awesome. I loved that build. It's been so fun. So, but no, yeah. So yeah, Nutty. Evolve is a bike brand located in Canada, and they have a actual dirt jumper frame that I want, and I'm looking into buying it. So, and I'm thinking about switching all my parts from the Walmart Huffy Scout build to this dirt jumper frame because they all should fit no problem just swapping them over. And this frame is bigger, so it'll fit my body better. But no, I'm so sorry, Bobby. I got really off canter there. But no, so what we're wanting to do, yeah. But no, the bike build I'm wanting to do is set the frame up, talk about the frame, what I have, and then do individual parts. So I'll do a wheel set, a budget style wheel set that's decent. Talk about the wheel set, put it on the build. Buy, say, the front fork, put it on the build, talk about it, why I did it, that kind of a thing. And I'm thinking it's probably going to be a lengthier style video. So, like the Huffy Dirt Jumper was roughly around 4 episodes, technically, 4 episodes, 4 videos to 5 videos. I think this one will be a little longer than that, but it's going to be like I'll do like 1 or 2 videos a month. I'm not going to like do it for all the videos. And Thursday is always my main upload. So Thursdays at 8 a.m. my time is when I upload the videos. So my video for this Thursday is already pre-uploaded. Thursday at 8 a.m. it'll go live. But sometimes I'll throw up random videos or do live feeds like this now, just to kind of keep things a little more fresh on the channel and still a little random and exciting. But Thursdays at 8, that is my actual long, 5 to 10 minute videos. Sometimes like this one, next one's about 13 minutes. So YT Dirt love to be good for tall people. I tried my friends and I love the YT Dirt jumper. I had one in a cart a couple months ago to pre-order and I decided not to, and I kind of regret it. Nutty. It is 500 Canadian. 500 Canadian for the dirt jumper frame, 420 US dollars roughly for that. So, honestly, for a dirt jumper frame and they're in stock, that's not bad. So, how expensive is the frame? Did you say that the mudguard you had that you can upload your own images for that might be cool with my own channel? Oh, Fractured. Yeah, you should totally do that, Fractured. I know they're located in the US, so I'm not sure what shipping to you would look like. It takes about a month to get it, but yeah, you pull up the actual groundkeeper fender and you can design mudguard and you can literally drag and drop pictures and that kind of a thing. So I'll probably just take the actual Chicken Cindy logo and just throw it on the mudguard and have them make it. They're a little pricey. They're about $45 for the mudguard. But for me with mine, I thought it was totally worth it. And I know a lot of you have seen my NS eccentric build. The mudguard actually matches the frame protector. So they're both the same design, and I did that on purpose. So that would be a good idea. I like more content. Yeah, and I think it'd be super boring if we just stick with doing mountain bike. Like if we just do the build for like a solid month and a half, I think that'd be boring. So I like to do the how-tos. I like to do the trail videos. I'm wanting to do so. Hear me out here for a second. Oh, hang on. Say something about shirts earlier. So okay, KJR. I have 4 Chicken Cindy's t-shirts. Okay, I have one. Single Track Jack has one. And then 2 other guys that I do a lot of writing with actually have them too. One is Kitty Cat and the other's Thor. And those 4 have Chicken Cindy's t-shirts. Those are the only Chicken Cindy's t-shirts. It has a Chicken Cindy's, the logo on the back, and then it has 2 little chicken feet with whatever name you want. Okay. So that's kind of what it is. And I've not made them. I don't know, like, is that something even people would want to buy? And like, I'm not one to want to make money off of it though, but I'd want to try to break even. So it's kind of like one of those, do I, and I only have almost, I'm glad you would, but I'm almost like, I don't feel like I'm big enough to do that. And because I don't want to just be sitting on a bunch of shirts and then you have sizes and that kind of a thing. So maybe I could do like a pre order and have, and like, I don't know how you would feel about like prepaying. Is that one of those things? Like, I have you sign up for the pre-order and then have you prepay it and then I'll ship it to you. But, it's one of those things again, like with COVID and stuff like that. It just 1,000 suspension. Okay, that's not bad. I would maybe buy some stickers if you made them too, but I probably would not buy a shirt. Gotcha. And I thank you, Trail Action. Nothing wrong with being honest, and I truly appreciate it. as much as I would want to support as a 16-year-old, it's just not possible. Listen, it happens, and I appreciate your honesty, Nutty. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe talk to Rich about how. Oh, that's a really good point. Would you prefer T-shirts or Chicken Cindy jerseys? That could be fun. But again, I'd have to look into the price, and I don't have like $1,000 just to throw into T-shirts to hope to sell. So it's kind of like one of those. It'd probably be like the hardcore channel people who like to watch all my stuff. So how about custom headset caps? Yes, I've done a few of those. That's a good call. That's not bad. Put it on eBay and I'll get it. Oh, that's a good point too. As in you'll be protected for the purchase. That's actually a really good idea, KJR. As in you'll have PayPal protection and the protection from eBay as well. So it's not just you giving me money. That's a really good idea, KJR, actually. Okay, let me look into doing that. Actually, I could probably get that going then. And you can select your size and then you can select the shirt too. And then the colors. That'd be interesting. Okay, cool. I like that. Thank you for giving me that idea. Any idea how to send a link to you? There's this dirt jumper frame I would like to show you, but it's extremely long. Okay, Nutty, add me on Instagram, chicken.cindy's. Just add me on there and just send me the link in a message. Easy enough. Also, some of you know this, some of you don't know this. I have an Instagram, chicken.cindy's. I try to upload stuff, random stuff that I'm doing and hints at other videos and things. So just keep that in mind if you want to follow me. I do some fun stuff. I want both, but he also did hoodies and stuff with that as well. And I think they were pre purchased through whatever service that was. Yep, that's true. Man, okay. I really like the idea, KJR, over the doing the a tumbler, Chicken Cindy's tumbler, only for coffee and tea. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, guys, we've really gotten off subject from the actual point of this video, which was budget builds. If anybody is watching this after this is done, because it will be uploaded because it just does that, I hope you enjoyed the hour and 11 minutes of bantering talk with good friends of mine. But thank you so much for joining, guys. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I'm going to hang around for a couple minutes and wait for y'all to get off. And if any of you hang around and have some questions for me, please hit them up. But other than that, thank you so much for joining, everybody. And thank you for the ideas and the tips on this full suspension build. I'm super stoked to do it. It's going to be fun. I know single track Jack's going to have a real big part in this one. So I'm so excited. But I love the ideas for all the different merchandise and stuff and just stickers and everything. I think we should get that rolling. So, but the 500-person giveaway is going to be a fun one. I'm super excited. That's halfway to 1,000. That's so exciting. Man, I'm stoked. Bus, keep sending. I hear that, brother. Take care, Fractured, man. Go to bed here soon. I know it's so early for you, man. Oh goodness, gonna have to diet for that camera. All right, man. I'll DM you. Yeah, definitely DM me that nutty. Okay. Yes, trail action. A bus. Oh goodness, guys. All right. I'm gonna get off here, everybody. Y'all take care and have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for joining me. These live feeds are awesome. And also, hit me up. Is an hour long enough for a heads up? Should I give longer? A Chicken Cindy's RV. Oh man, Fracture, you got a little bit, brother. You'll make it. Have a good night, KJR. Take care, man. Again, seriously, KJR, thank you so much for the eBay idea. I love that idea. Yeah, take care, buddy. I hope I answered your question good enough earlier over the build. So hope that makes sense what I'm wanting to do with that full suspension build. So see ya. See ya, Trail Action. Take care. My shift just ended later, my dudes. See you, Single Track Jack. Take care, brother. All right. See you, everybody. Take care.